There he is, the 16-time X Games gold medal winning, including 10 gold, skateboarding legend Tony Hawk. What goes through your mind when you look at some of your past exploits there?
I'm glad I'm still doing it. No, it was a blast. I mean, all the X Games, they kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was really happy to see him through those sort of formative years.
Yeah.
And now I'm still here doing commentary, and it's just so much fun every time.
Yeah, you're going to be doing color commentary, as you mentioned, for the X Games when they're in Brazil in a couple of days. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the international crowd, the audience there, and bringing it to a whole new audience on TV as well, because obviously the X Games have come so far, but mostly in the U.S. And so to see this type of big event and this type of action go to a place like that, in Brazil, skateboarding is huge, and there's huge interest, but they haven't had that many events like this.
Who should we be watching for when the skateboarding competition gets underway?
Wow. Well, I'm always a big fan of Michi Brusco, who's kind of coming into his own as one of the mega ramp riders and also vert skater, and Tom Shar, because he still hasn't had a chance to do a 1080 in competition yet, and I think it might be his time in Brazil. Now,
it's been 14 years since you did the first ever 900 in competition. As you look back on that, what comes to mind?
It was well, it was definitely a highlight of my career and my best exit to competing. I mean, that's the year I stopped competing and started to explore other avenues, and that was the year we released our video game. And I think I just got a lot of mainstream recognition from that, and hopefully raised the profile of skating in general.
What kind of guts does it take to even attempt that trick? in competition? I mean, with the world essentially watching.
Yeah, well, that was the first time I ever made it at all. It wasn't just in terms of competition. I had never made one ever before.
So why try it?
Because that was the best trick event, and I had already done what I consider my best trick. About halfway through that event, I made a Varial 720 that I only done a couple times prior to that, and so I thought, well, I might as well try the next thing I want to accomplish. And it was more for the crowd. It was more for like, oh, look, I've come close to this a couple times.
What is the most, or where is the most interesting place you've ridden a skateboard?
Sierra Leone. I was there on a charity visit for another foundation, and I brought my skateboard along, and I brought kids onto my board and gave them rides around literally a bombed out school. That was the only cement we found, and up and down the hallways of the school, and they kept calling it roller boogie.
Where does the White House fall in that list? Because you did skateboard at the White House, right?
Yeah, well, that was one of the that was the most exciting, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a little renegade, not necessarily approved by the White House or anyone. I mean, I brought my skateboard, and I was in the White House, and I thought, why not? Just ride down the hallway.
If you hadn't picked up a skateboard, if this hadn't come into your life, what would you be doing now?
I don't know. To be honest, I gave up playing violin to skate.
Really?
Yeah, I was sort of on the path of taking that more seriously, and I was doing concerts, out of school concerts, and it started to affect when I could go on to skate events, and so I thought I had to make a choice at that point.
Well, that's it. I had never heard that before. Well, good luck and enjoy the trip in Brazil.